Hello everyone, this is Jean. Welcome to my craft space. Today I'm working on an Art'nSoul Studio July project, which is about reworking. And I've chosen to rework a page from my circle journal, which is mostly used for mission inspiration projects. And this was a page that was going to be a mission inspiration project, but I redid it, and so I was left with this page. My circle journal already has a front cover, and so my idea is to use the reworked page as the back cover. So here's the page I'm reworking. You saw earlier it already had some of the texture paste on it. I'm redoing the texture paste to make it stand up more, to give it more texture. So I've left that to dry, and now I'm using some super heavy gel medium to stick that to the cardboard base. And I'm lining up the holes, and as you'll see I don't line them up particularly well, so that it's not really very symmetrical. I don't really know why, but it doesn't matter in the end. Because I'm now putting this extra stencil, which is a sort of circles. They sort of look like bubbles. I did this on the front cover as well. And my idea here was to put a few bubbles in various places and then to put them round the edge, which would sort of disguise the join between the paper, the watercolour paper part, and the cardboard journal. It didn't really work, so as you can see I've gone all round with texture paste and just patted it to make some texture all around the edge. Right, and this is now black gesso, and I'm going to cover the whole thing with black gesso. As I say, most of the pages are from Mission Inspiration, which is Mike Deakin's Facebook group, and there's a lot of Mike Deakin influence in this cover. So that's completely covered. I've now practiced what I was going to put in my layout. It did change a little bit later on, but I did take a photograph of that just so I'd have a rough idea of where things were going. Some of the things I wanted to make it even more textured, so I stuck some elements together. And also some of them were die cut, but they were only die cut from thin cardboard, so I doubled them up to make them thicker, to give them more texture. Now here I am sticking down the elements onto the black gessoed page using the super heavy gel medium. And these big elements, they're easy enough. But when you come to do the little ones, when you stick them down, all the glue gets into the gaps, so I'm using a little brush here just to remove the glue from in those gaps, otherwise the texture won't show up properly. I don't know where I've had that embellishment for a long time, I don't know where I got it from. Now I'm putting the gel medium on the back of the butterflies, or buttering them as Mike Deakin would say, and then again removing the glue from the gaps. And now I'm covering the whole page again with at least 2 coats of black gesso. You think it's done when you've done the first coat, and then when it dries you see all the little white gaps, and so you go over and over it. But I'm not going to make you watch all of that because it's very boring, so I've skipped to the end of that. Now I want to put some sort of metallic effect, and you can see I've already started down the bottom there. This is gilding polish in Copper Shine, and I'm trying to put a very light coat on with a dry brush technique, but sometimes you just can't help being a bit heavy-handed, and as you can see there's too much on there. It doesn't look like it's just picking up the highlights or the texture. I do find a way around that. I have found a way around that in the past, and I use it here. But I'm just continuing to do that all over the page, just trying to pick up the highlights, the bits that stick up, really. But I don't really want those very heavy, shiny things. Now, this is Cosmic Shimmer Powder in Black Pearl. I've used this before. I think you could probably just use black gesso, diluted black gesso, but this is Cosmic Shimmer Powder in Black Pearl, so it's got a bit of a shine, and I just use it over the parts where I think I've been a bit heavy-handed with the copper effect. As you can see, it tones it down so that the overall effect is just like a tinge of copper, and I like that. So this is now Inca Gold in Aquamarine to give a blue tinge. You can see I've already done quite a lot of it, and you can see what I'm doing here is taking it on the brush and then brushing it off, because I really don't want very much of this at all. I just literally want it to pick up the very highest of the highlights, just to give a little effect of blue mixed in with the copper. So I think those two colours go nicely together. Again, if I put too much of this on, I will use the Black Pearl again. I don't think I had to this time. I think it worked quite well. So we're nearly at the end now. As soon as I've done this, that'll be the end of the project. I'm just trying to show you here where the blue has picked up the texture. There will be some still photographs and close-ups at the end. And all that will remain for me to say is thank you for watching. I hope to see you again. Bye for now.